Let me warn you guys right now, today's video is too gross. So I already mentioned in a previous video that I'm putting garbage all over the game map, but everybody knows where garbage comes creepy-crawlies, which I hate. Oh, but I have to admit, it will add some atmosphere, so I'm imagining a really gross particle effect where you, enter a dingy room or step on a box or something and all these disgusting roaches start crawling all over the place. It'll be gross. I hate it and you'll hate it too, but it'll be great. Alright, first thing we're going to do is make a new particle system. So I go under here with effects and particles. And this is Unity's default particle system. We want it to be flat on the ground though, so we're going to go into the shape section, which is the shape of the emitter, not the shape of the particles. And we're just going to set the height to 0 along the z-axis. I want to know which direction the particles are pointing in, so I'm going to change the material to something more directional, like maybe arrow shaped if we have something. Oh, here we go. And we want to orient the particles according to the velocity. So we're going to mostly be looking at this particle system from above. We're looking down on it, and you can see the particles are the wrong orientation. They're not facing the viewer. So I'm going to change the initial rotation so to orient them so that they'll be along the floor. Alright, we're going to make our particles faster and also change the particle system so that it emits a short burst instead of continuously emitting. Let's make the size random. Oh, that looks grosser already. I'm going to set a random range for the orbital velocity, and that's going to make the particles turn slightly as they move out. Almost like they're steering towards something. And for maximum grossness, we are going to add some noise to slightly jitter the position of the particles as they move. Oh, that looks so gross. Oh. So I drew this picture on an index card and scanned it into Affinity Photo. And let me tell you, every time I walk past this index card, I want to swat it with my shoe. So I am going to put it in the paper shredder as soon as I get the chance. But in the meantime, I gotta filter, colors, remove white paper, white, and make it just transparent in the background. Yeah, let me cut this guy out, and I'm gonna copy and paste it onto we're gonna straighten this here out. Gonna make us a little room here. Grab this nasty looking leg. And so we paste 2 copies and then we flip one to make it symmetrical with the other one. You just copy and paste them a whole bunch of times, you know, because it's a bunch of nasty little legs there, little hairy things. Except that looks wrong though, doesn't it? I think these 2 bottom legs are supposed to go the other way, maybe. And then we're going to shrink it down to a tiny 64 by 64 pixels because it's going to be so small on the screen you're barely going to be able to see it anyway. And I think I'm going to flip these legs too. I think that... Wait a minute, hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm not an entomologist, but that looks right. That looks right. Now we'll make a wide image big enough to fit 4 frames into. So that's 256 by 64. In our picture, we're going to put 2 little pink dots, one in each of the bottom corners, so that we can tell where the edges of each frame are. Then we paste our ugly guy 4 times, lining up the pink dots. Then we just make some creepy-crawly animation just by rotating these legs back and forth a little bit. Alright, now back in Unity, where we were testing before, I'm going to change the background color to gray so that we can actually see the black particles. Need to create a material for our little guy here, so I'm going to choose the particle unlit shader and then set it to cutout mode, where I assign the image here. Boom. Back in our particle system, I'm going to assign the new material, and then I need to tell it that we're looking at 4 frames of animation in a single row, thereby making it an animated particle.
Alright, well, with our initial testing, it looks like we may have to adjust the scale a little bit as the particles seem
disproportionately large compared to the player and maybe a little bit too fast. What do you guys think? Okay, that's probably closer, but it's still pretty fast. It's still have to fool around with a little bit. Oh, well, would you look at that? It's a nice-looking cardboard box. I bet you want to kick that box, don't you?
Well, gee,
now, come on, I know you want to kick that box. Yeah, you want to kick that box. Kick that box, yeah. You want to move that box, and doesn't matter. Alright, so after a long, hard day's work, my game now has that. Oh, I can just imagine the Steam reviews coming in.
I was really looking forward to this game, but there's just too many bugs.